Welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we have a reading regarding unexpected or hidden blessings that are coming into your life right now. So we have 3 groups as usual for you guys to choose from. We have group number 1 with number 7, the throat chakra. Group number 2 with number 53, transformation. And group number 3 with number 52, the violet flame. So choose whichever card or cards resonate with you and use the timestamps below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. And we'll see you there. Welcome, group number 1. If you chose number 7, the throat chakra, then this is going to be your reading. So let's take a look at what hidden blessings are coming up for you at this time. First of all, with your card here, I'm seeing the angel wings and the butterfly wings as 2 synonymous messages. So these are really an expression of your divinity. It helps you to expand, helps you to fly free. I'm seeing transformation here and the ability to move. Both of these sets of wings are talking to me about movement. So how free are you in your life right now? And if you've been feeling trapped or stuck or moving more slowly, I'm seeing that the hidden blessing here, or the unexpected blessing, is going to be regarding your ability to move more freely. Okay, so let's grab another oracle card here. Get some additional messages on this blessing. You have sacrament of extreme unction. Actually, no, I want to put it on the other side. So I felt like grabbing the guidebook for this second oracle card, and I opened it right to the page, so you always know when that happens. It's divinely guided. So it says, Sacrament of extreme unction. Your heart knows how to let go so you can find peace. It is time for you to experience spiritual closure. A beautiful new reality is opening up for you. Entering it requires you to release your attachment to the past. You have been inwardly preparing for a powerful rebirth. Now is the time to trust in what is meant for you and move forward with an open, trusting heart and peaceful mind. So this card's really talking about this ability to let go, find closure, and to move on. So I think that if you were stuck in something, again, these wings are allowing you to transform, ending one cycle, beginning another, and kind of freeing yourself to be able to move. So this blessing of being kind of constricted for an extended period of time is actually that it is giving you the opportunity to find that closure that you needed the whole time and put an end to something that was keeping you stuck, or that wouldn't have been able to come with you into the places that you are going, or the spaces that you are going to embody in the future. So let's take a look at your tarot cards. I was called to the Tarot of Adventure, I think it's called. The Art of Adventure Tarot, that's what it is. Thank you to the donors who have submitted all of these cards to us. Oh, that really spun out. I'm gonna see how that wants to fall, but yeah, let's take a look. What is this? The 7 of Swords. Okay, so getting closure on something. See how spinny this one is? The 10 of Wands. Okay, so the 10 of Wands and the 7 of Swords are both very difficult energies. These are really feeling overburdened and not seeing things clearly, having people taking energy from you, or you not seeing energy clearly that was being drawn out of you. I do feel like this stuckness or the stagnation was as a result of feeling as though you were weighed down or burdened and couldn't fly free. There was a lack of peace because there were heavy things that you were carrying, and they're showing me the bottle in both of these. Okay, let me take these 2 cards out because they did draw my attention to them before I forget. But as you can see in these 2 cards, we have a bottle in one hand and a bottle with an X on the ground in the other. This is talking to me about alcohol. And so you could have been trapped in a cycle of addiction with alcohol, or alcoholism could have been something that really put some burdens onto you in the past, whether it was you or someone else who was in your life who used this as a way of coping or creating security for themselves. I'm seeing a lot here in your reading, group number 1, that you're transforming that, you're finding closure so that you can let go of these burdens that have kept you in this cycle of self-deception, or this energy of like lacking something that you need to be able to move forward, or having too much of what you don't need to be able to make progress. So these heavy burdens and these weights and this illusion and distortion and confusion that I'm seeing here with the 7 of Swords is going to be abating, is the word that Spirit just gave me, abating. So that's kind of like moving away, reducing. I'm seeing it's stopping is what they just said. They literally just gave me the word stopping. So it's going to come to a halt. And they're also reminding me here that in the throat chakra card, it says express your truth. So the more that you can speak your truth to yourself, I'm seeing here, the more you can admit to yourself that there's an issue. So let's say, for example, you are struggling in life and you're not making any headway, you don't feel free, you feel burdened, you feel like a victim, or you feel stuck and trapped, and you're using alcohol to cope with that, or something else, but the alcohol is keeping you in that cycle. This would be admitting to yourself that you have a problem. So it would be saying, you know what, I do have an issue with alcohol. That's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It means that I'm trying to get my needs met in an inappropriate way, in a dysfunctional way, and it's not actually serving me in the long run. So admitting something to yourself here, it doesn't have to be alcoholism, but it's like being able to see it clearly, admit it to yourself, accept it with unconditional compassion. That's what's going to set you free and allow you to finally get closure and make the changes necessary to move forward. Let's take a look at these other 2 cards you have. The King of Wands. So this is fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, but it feels to me like an energy of determination. And I'm seeing a groundedness and a rootedness here in the King of Wands that actually can help you to move forward, ironically, right? It's like you think root and you think something very stable and almost like stuck or trapped in one position, but I'm seeing this rootedness is something you can carry with you and you can create with. And so the more that you are able to admit to yourself that there's something that has been keeping you stuck and that you're not going to allow that to continue anymore, the more that you're able to free yourself and become re-enthused that's the word Spirit just gave me, re-enthused by life. So being more connected to your senses, not dulling or they just said blunting, not blunting your senses. Maybe alcohol was like a blunting mechanism to help dull the pain. And it's like by admitting, by accepting, by having compassion, by seeking something that's going to help to reduce the burden, you're actually able to then reinvigorate yourself and get your mojo back and feel more enthused about life again, and able to then move forward and create more freedom in your life through this re-inspiration. And I'm seeing, okay, you have the Strength card here, and this, I'm getting Leo energy because we do have the King of Wands and we do have this Lion here in this card. So this could be significant for you. It could not. But the Leo energy here is kind of like the addressing of the drama, because we see here like a circus. So if you've been kind of in a circus, it's time to admit what is yours and what is not. Like if it's not your circus, it's not your monkeys, then it's not your responsibility. So you can let go of drama and issues that other people have been creating around you. But if it is your circus and it is your monkeys, then it's time for you to take responsibility as the lion tamer, as the head of the circus, and change the situation. Okay, let's get one more card from this. Oh, I see this one here right away. The 6 of Swords. Okay, so you're moving on for sure, and there's travel here. I do see that with the wings and with the 6 of Swords. So whether you're physically traveling or you are just kind of breaking free from these old patterns and cycles of stress and dysfunctional coping mechanisms, I see you finding some kind of solace and a healthier form of it. So it's like you're reinvigorating yourself by finding a way to let go of some of the burdens and not. It's kind of, I don't know why I keep getting this energy of alcoholism. It's kind of like in AA when they say, Lord, give me the strength to accept what I can change and to let go of what I can't, or something like that. Correct me in the comments because I don't know what the actual quote is from that, but that's the gist of it. And Again, it's kind of like having the strength to admit what is within your control and being accountable to that, because that is where the transformation and the closure really is. And also accepting and letting go of what you cannot control, like things in the past. You can't physically go back and change those things, but you can change how you think about them now. You can change your current patterns of behavior that have resulted from those past experiences. And that in and of itself also gives you closure. Now, because you chose the throat chakra, express your truth, I'm seeing that's a major part of your healing here. And expressing your truth doesn't mean you have to communicate it verbally. I'm seeing here that your truth, because the center of your reading is the King of Wands, is really in your passion and drive for creation. So this could be like a creative pursuit, something that you want to make, something that you feel inspired by. It could be content creation. It could be, I just saw games, like creating games or making games or playing games. I'm seeing food. They just showed me the basket of food here in this card. So maybe you have a creative passion for cooking, or you have a creative passion for, I'm seeing like content creation and cooking. I just have to say it, because when Spirit gives me a message, if I don't say it, it's kind of like I hit a brick wall. I've said that a couple times in my readings, and that's what it feels like, is I can't keep going. It's like everything just kind of gets stuck. And I think that that's also part of your message here, group number 1, is that if you don't say it, you get stuck. If you don't express it, you get stuck. And that's where you've been at. And that's why it's felt so heavy. And that's why you've been trying to cope in the best way you knew how, given that feeling and that extreme heaviness of that stuckness. It's like continually running into a brick wall because you're not letting yourself express. You're not letting yourself be free. You're not feeling confident enough to be able to actually show up as the version of you that you are deep down. And I'm seeing like masking happening here. They're showing me like the bear cloak. It's kind of like you can mask in a dysfunctional way, or you can mask in a functional way. And in the masking functionally, I'm seeing here, it's like putting on the bear cloak, taking on the spirit or energy, or, the archetype of the bear to help you have courage to express yourself. Because the King of Wands is very courageous energy in its highest expression. It is not afraid to transform, to burn down what does not exist or does not need to exist anymore, to get that closure and to be reborn. It's like the phoenix being reborn from the ashes. It takes a lot of strength to completely sort of destruct everything that you once were and allow yourself to be reborn. It takes a lot of faith and trust and determination. But that's what I'm seeing here with the King of Wands. And it's, if you can don that cloak of courage and just face the fear and do it anyway, you're really going to have a breakthrough. You're really going to see a lot of transformation for yourself. And this is the hidden blessing. This is the unexpected thing that you don't see as a blessing right now. You might think it's a curse. You might think that you're stuck, you're trapped, you're not having a good time in this situation. But this is an opportunity, and that is where the blessing is. It's an opportunity for you to catalyze all of that pain and discomfort and stuckness and burden and distortion and illusion and confusion through the inner strength to face those things head on and be accountable and accept them. And then through acceptance, you're able to change the situation through your own will, through determination and pursuit of your passion. Yeah, they just said, don't give up. Group number 1. That's what Spirit just said for you. Do not give up. Keep trying, because if you haven't done it yet, then you just haven't found the way. There is a way. You just have to keep trying. You have to keep doing, I should say, because as Yoda would say, there is no try, there is only do. So it's really just doing it. Don't think about it, just do it. Just make the change. And if that fear is with you through all of that action, that's fine. That's actually quite normal. And it's going to go away over time, right? The more you do something, the more practiced you become at it, the less fear there is, for the most part. And I'm seeing here that if you can stop the distortion of your mind and possibly even your body, like get your body clean and clear and focus on the strength of cultivating these new passions or expressing these new passions or these old passions. These don't even have to be new things. You could be doing them for the first time, but they're passions that you've held within you all the time. But it's like you contained them, you bottled them up. If this isn't to do with alcoholism, this is you bottling things up, stuffing them down, hiding them away. And that becomes a burden because now you're carrying around all of this pain of not expressing yourself and not embodying who you are deep, deep down. You're hiding that away from yourself and you're hiding that away from the world. And that doesn't do anybody any good, especially you. It doesn't do you any good because it just keeps you stuck. It keeps you feeling trapped. It keeps you in that victim mindset because you are oppressing yourself. And again, the more that you can accept and admit what you can be accountable and responsible for in changing your circumstances. What do you control? And using that as a segue into an opening of your path. That is where the freedom and the peace are going to come in. And you're going to feel that peace. The fear will start to dissipate. The strength will increase. Your confidence will build. The burdens will fall away. The distortions will be removed. The blindfolds will come off. And you'll actually see very clearly for the first time, maybe ever, that you can do this. And then you'll keep that momentum going. And you can trust yourself to do that. Allow yourself to express your truth and you unlock your power. That's the blessing here. Unlocking your power. So that is what I see for you, group number 1. I hope that this reading helped you. It was a little bit of a tougher one, but again, this is an unexpected or hidden blessing in a situation, in this case, that is very challenging, dysfunctional, uncomfortable. And that's saying the least of it. I can't imagine what you're experiencing or what you have experienced leading up to this point. And I'm offering you compassion for that. But ultimately, it is up to you to stand up and say no more and to change what you can change because you are and always have been in control of your life, even if you didn't feel like it. And it's up to you to use that power and create the reality that you deserve and that you desire. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you watching the readings, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting below. Let me know how these readings resonate with you, what's coming up for you as you listen to this message. What have you been feeling stuck with, and how are you feeling passionate or maybe uninspired at this time to move forward? If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, I am still accepting a small number of bookings dependent on my energy levels, and you can find the information and the booking stuff through my website. It's ToKittyandBeyond.com, which is linked below in the description box. Thank you guys again. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose number 52, the Violet Flame, and this card really speaks to me of transmutation. That's what the Violet Flame is traditionally used for. It's transmutation, and it helps to raise your frequency. There's a lot going on in this card. I'm seeing the eye here, and it's like there's this swirling vortex energy leading up to the eye. Let me show you guys up close. There's this vortex energy down here. It's like you're piercing through the veil. She's got this interesting staff in her hand, which makes me think of a wizard. Her eyes just really drew my attention as well. I'm getting starseed energy, third eye awakening, the unconscious becoming conscious with the moon here, transformation with butterflies. A new horizon is what they just showed me with the clouds and the background there. So there's a lot going on in your card. And there's a lot going on in your reading, group number 2. It feels like this hidden blessing is coming after a period of darkness or a period of, they just gave me the phrase hard work. So you guys may have been working really hard to uncover something that was unconscious or to activate your psychic abilities or to transmute something through magic. From past lives, specifically from a starseed origin. So it's like you're working to transmute and heal or alchemize and transmute something from your soul blueprint. This goes very deep. It's like in the Akashic record, in the deep layers of the unconscious mind. It's held in your DNA. It's like all of these different layers that you've had to address. And I see that you've been really working at this very hard, group number 2. A lot of spiritual pursuit here, a lot of introspection, a lot of deep unconscious work, maybe doing dream work, hypnosis, meditations, doing energy healing. I'm seeing all of those things being very dominant here. So this if you've been doing this work, the hidden blessing is going to come out of that, and we're going to get more information on what that is. If you haven't been doing this work consciously or intentionally, they're recommending that that's actually going to unlock this hidden blessing for you, because it's going to help bring light to something. It's going to start a new phase of your life. I'm seeing that horizon, like a new day is dawning. There's clarity, there's light, there's awareness, there's power, and there's transformation that comes from this transmutation. So let's take a look at the rest of your cards. They actually want me to grab more oracle cards from this original deck, which is the Lemuria deck. So this may actually have something to do with Lemuria, since we were talking about star seeds and blueprints and stuff like that. Yeah, it is this one. Okay. Reclaim your energy. Yeah, definitely. So this is 100% for you, group number 2, about being able to transmute something within your DNA, within your soul blueprint, within your Akashic field, your energy body that has been distorting. Yeah, they're showing me the background here behind her. It looks like, when they would show you like that hypnosis thing, or it's like that twisting black and white spiral. I'm seeing that again. So hypnosis could be part of this. You may have been in a disempowered state of hypnosis, operating from a lower level brainwave state, or you could use hypnosis functionally to help you address some of these deeper layers of the self. Like if you guys are interested in QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis therapy, or BQH, beyond quantum healing, those kinds of things could be helpful, or you may have been already doing those things to reclaim your energy, to get clarity on what is going on with your past, what is going on with your soul blueprint, what's going on in your Akashic record, what's going on with your energy body, because something has been off here and you are reclaiming it. You're healing, you're transmuting, you're stepping back into your power and getting things back into alignment. I see that very, very clearly in your reading. That is the huge blessing here, is that by addressing this, you are able to really get back into alignment. And that's when the magic starts to happen. And I'm seeing that wand, that staff here, it's like the wizard staff, where you're back in your power again, and you're able to, with intention, direct and create your reality in a more empowered way, so that you're not stuck in these loops of the past, like karma and distorted dysfunctional patterns that come from a very unconscious deep layer that you've had a hard time identifying and freeing yourself from. Now we're going to use the True Heart Intuitive Tarot to get some additional information. 7 of Wands. I see you standing your ground here. You're being willing to look at this. You're looking at the shadows, but you're not even like focused so much on the shadow. It's like you're looking at the bigger picture beyond the shadow. And you're kind of like battling. You're battling these old patterns within you. You're standing up to them, setting boundaries, saying, I'm not going to allow this situation or this person or this theme to continue limiting my energy, to continue disempowering me. Yeah, you're really standing up for yourself here. 9 of Pentacles. Wow. Well, there's part of the blessing here, right? The more you do this work, the more abundance you're going to get. The 9 also speaks of closure and freedom and endings. And that's where it's like the setting of the sun and then the rising of the next new day. So you are going from, this period of time where you were really stuck in the clouds, and things were foggy, things were unclear. You're finally standing up and saying, I'm not going to hide this anymore from myself. I'm not going to let anybody else hide this from me either. I'm going to do what I came here to do, is what Spirit just said. I'm going to do what I came here to do. And that's going to create this freedom and abundance for you. And it's really like I see especially with the 9 of discs here, this is about this discipline to be able to address what needs to be addressed, to transmute it, and to reclaim your energy. It's like you're stepping back into your power in a big, big way. Group number 2. Prince of Wands. Look at him riding valiantly on his phoenix. You know, it's like you're not backing down. Like, you are not backing down. You are courageous. You are doing the work, is what I'm seeing here. And the blessing that is going to come from this, first of all, is that you're putting out fires from off in the distance. That's what they're showing me with these 2 cards. We've got 2 background fires here. So you're putting out those fires that have kind of been threatening you, but from afar. You know, it's like, okay, a dysfunctional pattern in your Akashic record. It may not be creating direct physical things that you have to deal with every day, but you can see it off in the distance, and it's threatening to come closer if you leave it alone. It's like it needs to be addressed, and it's just a matter of time before it kind of overtakes the entire background there. So, you know, being able to look at these things and address them directly, not backing down, standing your ground and standing up for this reclamation of your power, reclamation of your energy. That's what's really setting you free here and getting you into this abundant, safe, peaceful, grounded, healthy energy. I was just going to say I see financial abundance here, and I should have said it because I just flipped over the 10 of discs. So we got the 9 and the 10, which is really like financial abundance. So, and stability, long-term, stable, sustainable wealth. And I see that here is like you reclaiming this thing from within you at the very unconscious and soul level is actually going to create a lot of long-term stability in your family life, in your home life, and in your finances. They also just said career, so career is part of that too. But you're going to see that very tangibly. It's like the more you set these boundaries, the more that you go after and address these things, the more benefit physically you're going to see from that, because you are addressing things that could have taken away all that you've worked to build. And so it's kind of like you're nipping it in the bud and saying, I'm not going to let that become a problem, because I can see long term that that's not efficient. It's not an efficient use of my energy, or if I use this little bit of energy correctly, it's going to set me up for so much more sustainable stability in the future. You have the Queen of Discs. I'm not surprised, like so much stability and growth potential here. Definitely a long-term financial, they just gave me the word extraction. That has nothing to do with what I was just saying, but that's what they said. They said extraction. And they keep showing me the snake in the little bottom corner here. Okay, let me ask them what that means. Extraction in this case refers to the removal of past templates of wounding that have obscured the necessary energetic, consequential resources to be able to create the long-term stability that the soul craves and that the physical human self desires. Through reclamation of one's power, the individual is able to expand and explore unfettered and uninhibited by previous restrictions and distortions of truth. It is through the balanced reclamation of energy that the individual is able to sustainably create long-term growth and wealth as a result of alignment of power and direction of will. Okay, so that's directly verbatim what Spirit had to say about that. Yeah, as per usual, whenever I channel, it's in one ear, out the other, so I don't really remember, but I can get the gist of it. Like, I don't remember what specifically was said, but essentially it was kind of what I was picking up on, that through this reclamation of your energy, you're going to be able to create a lot of long-term stable growth for yourself, and it's balancing things out. So you're very much doing some healing work. You're very much doing transmutation, reclaiming your energy, getting yourself back into alignment spiritually. And as a result, you're able to direct your will more effectively and create like very, very long-term wealth for yourself. Like, this is going to last a lifetime is what they're saying here. And it's not like a temporary influx of money that then goes away. Like, this is something that you can build on for the rest of your life, and that will sustain you through any hardship or any experience or any kind of additional stuff that you have to go back and do in the Akash or in your soul blueprint. Like, it'll make it a lot easier to address those things because you don't have to worry about the physical human needs. You can really focus more intentionally on the spiritual pursuits because your physical human needs are met. And that's why the soul really needs that. And obviously, because the human needs that, the human you needs that to be able to be free to focus on these other more higher spiritual pursuits. And the soul knows that. So it's like, okay, let's kill two birds with one stone here. By addressing the soul level issue, we free up and clear the energy so that we can create this physical wealth and long-term growth that we need to be able to then re-up and continue doing the spiritual alignment work. Yeah, so it's like you're making this short-term investment that's going to give you long-term return on that spiritually, because you are going to have so much more free time and energy to pursue these spiritual advancement and spiritual healing and transmutation things. And you'll have the resources to be able to invest in things like that too. Like, if you want to go for a healing session, if you want to get an Akashic reading, if you want to do energy healing, or even teach or learn how to do that, it's going to be available to you because money's not going to be an issue. You know, you can invest in yourself in that way. And that's really invaluable, is what Spirit just said. It's priceless because you're not going to feel stuck or limited or trapped by the lack of human resources that you need to be able to do the soul level work that you came here to do. And you can really only do it from this dimension, is what they just said. Like, you're resolving third dimensional entrapments and infringements. And so you can only really resolve that from the third dimensional level. That's why you've incarnated here in this lifetime, is to be able to resolve these things in this way. And at soul level, you know the only way you're going to be able to do that effectively and efficiently is to make sure that your needs are met at the human level, at the third dimensional level. Cool, really cool. So the hidden blessing here, group number 2, is that your financial needs are going to be met. And so investing initially in doing this transmutative work and reclaiming your energy at this spiritual level is really going to pay off long term, because again, it sets you up for success in the future to be able to continue doing those things that your soul really needs. And you can't take the money with you, right? But that's not the point. The point isn't to amass this vast amount of wealth so that your ego has this feeling of security. It's to create the opportunity to be able to focus on the real wealth, which is doing this soul level healing and transmutation and alchemization, so that you take that with you. That's the value, because you can't take money with you, but you can take your soul blueprint, and you do take your soul blueprint with you. So you want to have that as cleaned out as you can while you're here in the third dimension, because I think, ideally you don't really want to have to come back and repeat this. And even if you do, you want to do as much work as you can in each individual lifetime so that you're not here for longer than is necessary. I mean, that may not necessarily be the case for all of you, but I'm just feeling that, so I have to mention it. Sometimes being a starseed and being incarnated in the third dimensional physical realm it's challenging, it's difficult. We don't feel at home here. It can feel very limiting and restricting. It can feel very frustrating. And so even from that soul level, not just from the human level, but from the soul level, it can feel uncomfortable. And so I think that's why you're trying to condense as much healing and soul evolution into as short a period of time as you possibly can. So that's what I see for you, group 2. The hidden blessing here is massive spiritual evolution and growth. And in addition to that, or as a result of that, financial stability and long-term sustainable growth in your finances so that you can be free to focus on that spiritual growth. So I hope that this reading helped you and it gave you something that you needed. Maybe it was information, maybe it was context, maybe it was insight or guidance. Whatever it was, let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, for viewing the reading, for contributing your energy into this group and into this reading. Thank you to the members who support the channel financially and who gain the benefits of that. I really appreciate that, and allows me to create more content for you guys here and on the member side of the channel. And if you guys are looking for more in-depth insight into what's going on here, or maybe even some transmutative work, I am currently offering limited spots for one-on-one sessions with me. It's very energy dependent and I don't want to hit burnout, so I'm being very conservative about how much I can do. But if there are spots available, you can claim those through my website. It is linked in the description box. It's tarotandbeyond.com. So you can find my sessions there. And if you're interested to work with me and to have me as a supporter in this, then feel free. And if not, then thank you so much for being here. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group number 3. If you chose the transformation card, this is going to be your reading on hidden blessings or unexpected blessings that are happening right now for you. So you guys chose transformation, and from this card, I feel like you are kind of coming out of a chrysalis. I'm getting that feeling of you've been protecting yourself. You've been kind of like crunched up or keeping yourself small as a way to protect this vulnerable stage, like you're protecting yourself through a vulnerable phase of your development. But I'm also seeing that you're about to come out of that very, very shiny and new and bright. So let's take a look at the rest of your cards here. I did feel called to the angel deck here for you guys. So let's take a look for group number 3. I do feel this card, unexpected blessings. Nope, they said that's it. Okay, just the one. Nurture. Archangel Gabriel, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So this is nurturing yourself through this vulnerable stage. Definitely feels like you've been doing that, or this is going to be the result of the hidden blessing, is that you're going to be able to nurture yourself even more as you continue to grow and expand and shine your light. So let's grab some oracle cards, tarot cards. Let's grab some tarot cards. Oh boy. Okay, I'll take the one that flipped upright and this one here. The rest are going to go back in. Oh, I do feel that one on top. You have the 7 of Swords. Okay. Again, I feel like you're facing your shadow, or you're really being able to facing your shadow, and you're transforming how you fight back. And instead of fighting the shadow, you're able to nurture yourself so that you're actually healing. You're not at war with yourself anymore. You're seeing things for what they are. You're able to kind of laugh at it, is what I'm getting here with the 7 of Swords. The coyote in this card is I mean, it could be a wolf, but I'm seeing it as a coyote here. And interestingly, I saw a coyote in the wild the other day, and just out and about. And they speak to me of like humor, playfulness, and adaptability, being resilient, and also being able to use what resources you do have to your advantage. And I'm seeing that you were kind of like again, pulling yourself in, keeping yourself small in a way, not out of fear, but more so out of a necessary need to just protect yourself through the phase of development that you were in. And you're now being able to kind of laugh in the face of darkness, or laugh in the face of your shadow, because you're seeing it for what it really is, and you're able to use the tools you've developed through this stage of vulnerable development into actually experiencing more lightheartedness and more fun and playfulness, because you're nurturing that part of you. It's like you're facing the shadow and being able to then step back into your inner child in a healthy way. By nurturing and creating safety for that vulnerable part of yourself, it's actually able to shine more brightly and be more free. You have the Star card. Look at how innocent and beautiful this is. And it's all about healing. So yeah, this vulnerable stage for you was a very healthy transformation and a point in your evolution to connect you back to that inner nurturing, that inner compassion, that inner lightheartedness, playfulness, to be able to deal with the hardship in the world. And protecting yourself through that is definitely important, right? If you've got this little lamb here, then you being the little lamb, or the inner child being the little lamb, and you now being this person who's nurturing, coddling, and making sure that this version of you is protected, is giving you the healing and the safety to be able to open up again. And I keep seeing the stars here and these bright flowers. It's like you are, you're shining again. You're transforming. And we have strength. Wow, yes. You're developing strength through this transformation, group number 3. Developing strength through this transformation to be able to tackle whatever perceived monsters were hiding behind closed doors within you, within your mind, maybe traumas from the past, something like that. But I see you nurturing yourself, maybe even nurturing others as well. And it's through this gentleness that you're actually finding the strength. Interestingly enough, it's the strength of that gentleness. It's the strength of protecting yourself through a vulnerable phase. It's the strength of finding the humor in the darkness and being able to illuminate the path forward through this compassion and perspective that's really helping you to heal and to cultivate this inner strength in a very tangible way. You have the Lovers. This is looking almost like Beauty and the Beast in this card. So it feels very much like, again, like taming the inner beast and working with this wild nature within you, but transforming that. It's something that was vulnerable becomes a strength. A fear becomes your empowerment. A wound becomes the blessing to be able to nurture that part of you, to love that part of you with unconditional acceptance, seeing the anger, seeing the pain, seeing the fear as something that needs you to nurture, to protect, but in a healthy, evolutionary way, so that you're not limiting yourself, you're actually liberating yourself. And we have the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, you may have had nurturing withheld from you, and you were neglected in some way. Maybe your parents were not able to show up for you the way that you needed, and so as a result, later in life, you learned that model of existence of, if I deny my needs and pretend I don't have any, or I neglect myself, then, I might be able to get some level of connection with other people. But I'm seeing that through some period of isolation and dealing with these triggers, dealing with these wounds, dealing with these fears and these beliefs and this pain, dealing with this vulnerability, really, because anger is just a cover for vulnerable emotions that we don't like to feel. And I see you nurturing yourself through that in a way that maybe you didn't get before. And by offering this compassion to yourself, you are really helping to heal the core wound behind the behaviors, behind the relationship patterns, behind the shadow. You're actually getting to the root of it. And that's the blessing here, is that even though these patterns have been I just heard the word detrimental. So these patterns have been detrimental in your life. Ultimately, the blessing here is that you have learned that you can't fight them with force. You can only fight them with love. You can only heal these things through compassion and nurturing. It's not through judging or rejecting or fighting against these things that you will resolve them. It is through understanding and deep connection that you are able to heal these things, because that's where the wound was in the first place. Lack of connection. And then it's through this joyous, childlike exhibition of trust that you are able to dive more deeply into what you really needed all along, which was understanding, acceptance, connection, and then joy as a result of those needs being met. I'm seeing that with the Seven of Swords, strangely enough, that the Seven of Swords represents deception, illusion, thievery, things like that. But I'm seeing here, it's like it's actually, the blessing is that from those things, from facing the shadow, you're actually able to reestablish more joy in your life and feel more peaceful, more at peace is actually what Spirit said, more at peace, because you know how to protect yourself. You know what you need to do to transform anything that you felt like was challenging you or disempowering you. And truly the strength is through grace. It's not battling it, it's loving it. Loving it into surrender is what Spirit just said. Loving it into surrender. And now they're showing me somebody waving a white flag, like, I surrender. Let's make peace. And it's not through an onslaught of war against that part of the self. It's through love that part finally kind of caves and says, okay, fine. Yeah, that is what I needed the whole time. Thank you. So nurture yourself, group number 3, because that is where the blessing is going to come from. This could even positively impact and have blessings within your relationships, because your relationship with yourself is improving. You're transforming that. You're healing and really deeply nurturing that vulnerable part of yourself. And it's through that transformation, regeneration, and reclamation of your inner child that you're better able to have healthy interpersonal relationship dynamics with other people, because you are not constantly on the defensive or easily triggered so much as you were before. That inner child feels safer. You have better boundaries. You're strong enough to be able to nurture yourself, and therefore to not allow any inappropriate or unnurturing behavior from other people. You can set those boundaries. You can communicate effectively. You can set your standards in place and have better relational dynamics. You can choose more effective partners. You can communicate better with family. You can nurture and raise your children in a healthier way because you know how to do it, because you've done it for yourself. You've embodied it. And then you can replicate that and uphold that and sustain that through other relationships. Because all relationships are ultimately a reflection of the self and the relationship we have with us. And it's been a long road. They just showed me her hair here in the star, like Rapunzel. It's been a long road for you, group number 3. But the hidden blessing here is that you've really mastered this skill, or you will have mastered this skill by the end of it, because you've been practicing it so much, or you've really had a lot of opportunity to sit with these emotions, to sit with yourself, basically, to be able to come out of this in a way that feels much more stable. I feel like you've really learned to appreciate these other shadowier parts of the self, like these pain points in the self and these wounds where resentment or shame or anger or guilt or fear lie. You've been able to hold space for them in a way that creates more opportunity for true healing and connection, because you're not pushing them away. You're not judging those parts of the self. You're not rejecting them or even projecting them out on the world or other people. And again, that's why those relationships improve, because you're no longer projecting that unconscious pain and giving that responsibility to other people. You're accountable to it. You're transforming it within yourself, which is where it originated and where it will dissipate. The blessing the major blessing is that you are loving yourself, group number 3. And it's through that strength and that love that healing occurs. And it's all through nurturing. So that's really what I see for you. This is a bit of a shorter reading, but I accidentally said bitter, and there's no accidents, right? It's kind of like a Freudian slip there. So anywhere that you may have had bitterness at not being loved in the way that you needed, anywhere that you held resentment toward people for overstepping your boundaries or taking from you without your consent, or maybe even with your consent, but it was very unconscious. These types of things are going to be dealt with through nurturing. It's holding space for yourself that you can heal that bitterness and come back to the sweetness of life and the joy that is available for you, truly. But it comes from within. So yeah, that is what I wanted to say for you, group number 3, a bit of a shorter reading than the other 2, but that's very much, it's to the point, and that's what Spirit wanted you to know. So there's nothing more that I need to say here. It's just being open to nurturing yourself, and the blessings that will come from that will really surprise you, and you will see such positive things in your relationship with yourself and others. So I'm sending you the most love and healing here, group number 3, through this transformation and this acceptance of your vulnerability and nurturing of yourself and your needs. So I hope that this reading helped you in that process in some way. Let me know in the comments below if it did, or how this may have brought things up within you, maybe some realizations, or maybe triggers. Maybe it triggered you, but also triggers are opportunities for healing. They point us towards the wound. So embrace the triggers because they are helpful. And I'm sending you lots of love and healing. Thank you so much for being here, supporting the channel through your views, likes, shares, subscribes, your comments below, your memberships to the channel so you can get the additional content and the one-on-one time with me. And if you would like even more one-on-one time with me, I am still offering a few slots for one-on-one client work. I do energy healing and tarot readings. If you guys are interested, you can check out my offers in the link below to my website. It's ToKittyandBeyond.com. Thank you again for being here. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.